What's up guys, today I'm ranking every defender in Rainbow Six Siege in this tier maker. You have probably seen similar videos like this on YouTube, but I'm making my own now, so let's start. Okay, so this list is just randomized. Okay, yeah. So Alibi. I think her weapon is very strong. She is one of the best roamers in the game right now. But I think you need to know what you are doing with her gadget. And there is also better roamers. But yeah, she can get some intel on the side and roam somewhere else, that's good, but like, she's not S, she's, I'd say she's right now B tier, A to B, yeah. Okay, next up, we have Azami. I think she has a great gun, and she has 1.5. And you can create lines of sight with her gadget if you know what you're doing. She also has impacts and deagle, so you can make kill holes, so her kit is pretty good, her gadget is pretty good. I'd say she's B. She's not like super meta at the moment, but like she's still a strong operator. Next up we got Bandit. Bandit. In some sites Bandit is much better than Kate and like pretty much essential if you don't want the enemy team to breach, but not always. And he doesn't have a 1.5 on his gun, only one time scope, so that's kinda shame. But overall, he's very good operator and has always been. Okay, next up we have Castle. Castle is a very good operator if you know what you are doing, like you really have to know how to play him. And how about his kit? He has a UMP, which is like the worst gun in the game, so that brings his down. But he has a shotgun. He can make rotations and like feed holes. That so like he's situational. I'd put him in C. Cav is just bad, like I'd say her SMG is bad. She has a pretty good shotgun. But how to say it, like the lower the rank you are in, the better cav is. Like I think in bronze, silver, copper, cav will just destroy the enemy team. Like you could just like dominate the whole fucking map, but higher than gold, plat, she's useless because the enemy team knows how to coordinate, you know, they use their own, so I think she's bad. Next up we have Clash. Have we missed anyone? Oh yeah, we have missed Aroni. She has Ronnie and the DMR and on her kit. So I'd say she's a pretty good anchor with that DMR. I'd say it has a lot of potential, and her gates are like, this is a pretty easy to use operator. I'd say she's like, she's B, yeah, consistent. Nothing much to say about her though. Okay, Clash. Sometimes Clash can be good in some situations, but alone she's garbage. You can't do anything with her. Like, she's kinda like Pulse because you can get information without getting shot. It's like Pulse does that vertically, but Clash does it kinda horizontally. So I guess she has some kind of intel value, but she can also slow the enemy team down a bit, so... But with a well-coordinated team, she is pretty much useless. Yeah. Okay, Doc. Doc has a pretty good kit. MP5, 1.5 scope, but I don't know. He's not in the meta right now. He's like, I'd say he's C. Like, he's a fun operator to play with, but nothing crazy, you know. Nothing crazy. Has a good gadget though, if it's well used, but it's kinda hard to use because you have to shoot the enemies with a steam pistol, and always that's not possible, so yeah. Next up we have Echo. Echo has been through a lot. I'd say he's consistent because his kit is pretty good, but the fact that his drones are no longer invisible, I think it makes him a C. Before I think he was A, now he's C. Has been some while. But hey, if Echo is well used, like if you know what you're doing, Echo can be very useful, but yeah, nothing much to say about him. Next up we have Ella. I wish she was as good as she was in 2018. Was it 2018? Yeah, I think. When she had like no recoil and 50 ammo magazine. It was crazy. So, okay. She's a strong operator in intel wise. Like, she can get good intel, and if she sets her traps near the site, she can make the enemy team pretty vulnerable easily. Her gun is very good at close range, and I'd say if you are a beginner, this is a overall good aroma to use. You just have to get used to the SMG. Yeah, I'd say she's B. Okay, next up we have Frost, another trap operator. Frost got a shotgun lately, so she has an alright kit. I wouldn't say her SMG is bad, but it got a really slow fire rate, which brings it down. But she has the secondary shotgun, so she can make a rotations and like feed holes. So her kit is pretty good, but I don't see much like near to any potential with her traps nowadays. Maybe in some sites, but she's very situational. I'd say before she had a shotgun as a secondary weapon, she was D, but now I'd say now she's C. She's very situational. Okay, next up we have Goya. Yeah, we haven't missed anyone. Goya. I have never really liked him. Like, he has the Vector, which is, if not the best, one of the strongest weapons on defense, the Vector. And he got a buff, and like now he doesn't have the shields anymore, he just has the canisters, which is good. You can he has potential as a entry denial, but like you have to have a really coordinated team to use his canisters. I'd say if you play solo queue, it's not like a strong pick, but if you have a well coordinated team, then in some side it can be pretty good, like pretty deadly. But his gun, like I'd say he will be D or maybe C, but he has a good gun, so let's put him in C. Okay, next up we have Jaeger. Have we not missed anyone? Nope. Okay, Jaeger. S tier. He is S tier and has always been like. He has a gadget that can destroy grenades and every gadget that you can shoot, which is like pretty OP, like. And his gun is also pretty strong. After all the nerfs, he's still C. Has always been. I'd say if he only had a pistol, he would still be like S2A. And I don't know if I have been saying like C tier, but I have meant S tier. Haha, my bad. But yeah, Jaeger is always good. It's like there is no side that where Jaeger is bad. Like if you're a beginner, if you're a champion, Jaeger is still good. He's always good. Okay. Next up we have Kate here. In some sites, Kate is essential. If you need to get hatches electrified, but he's very situational. His gun is like okay, he has a decent kit, nothing crazy though. I don't know where to put him. Like, yeah, sure, he's useful, but I'd say he's consistent. He's consistent, yeah. Well, no, let's put him in A. He's useful, next to Bandit. Okay. Next we have Capcan. Capcan is very strong at the moment. And I like his kit very much. I like the SMG personally with the 1.5 scope. And his gadget is just very easy to use, so if you're a beginner, you don't know what operator to use, just use Capcom. In higher levels, I think his gadget doesn't have that much value anymore, because people can just check the doorways, but I guess that's the case with every trap operator in the game. Yeah, I'd say he is consistent. B. Lesion. He's a good intel operator with his gadget. He has a good kit, but it's kinda shame that he doesn't have a 1.5 scope. It's a even that little thing would bring him up to B, but let's put him in C. He's situational, and you can. It's also a minus that you can see his traps be like through the walls. But he's a good intel operator. Not as good as he used to be, but he's still decent. Pretty easy to use. We have Maestro. Okay. I'd say he's B. He has a strong gun, the LMG, as his primary. His gadget is very useful to Evil Eye. I mean, no, not to Evil Eye. Wait, that's Valkyrie's gadget. But yeah, his gadget is very useful if used correctly. If you are a beginner, this might not be the best operator for you. And I'd say Maestro is pretty easy to counter, because you basically have to put his cams somewhere where you can destroy gadgets, but you can just counter him with a nade, or like Ass Breach or Sophia's Breach, you know. So I'd say he's situational. You have to know what you're doing if you play him. Next up we have Melusi. Yeah. I'd say Melusi is the best trap operator in the game, in my opinion. Her kit is not the best in the world with the MP5. He doesn't have a 1.5, but the MP5 is still a very strong weapon, with nearly no recoil, pretty decent fire rate. He has Sophia's and Ella's pistol with a scope on it, and her gadget brings very much intel, slows the enemies down, pretty much makes rushing impossible, or if not impossible, pretty damn hard. And Melusi combined with some operator like Goya or like Legion it's very decent. I'd say she's, I don't know. She's A. If she had a better gun, I'd say she would be meta, but I mean she's still meta, but not as good as Jaeger though. Next up we have Mira. Okay. She's very useful in every rank, I think. Not in every site though, so it's pretty situational, but she has the best, if not best, one of the best guns in defense, so I'd say she's A. You can get so much intel with her and like slow the enemies down, make the attackers push more awkward. They have to think much more. I bet she is very useful in lower ranks, So I'd say she's B or A. I will put her in the middle, but well, she's better than Aruni, sure, but yeah, let's put her in A. Okay. Next up we have Mossy. He has a good gun. Very strong gun. With Ronnie with a 1.5 scope. If his gadget is used properly, he can be very good intel wise. You can get very much intel, but I'd say you have to know what you're doing to get value with him. Like you could just play Valk or something. Like I'd say he's situational. Yeah, this is just my opinion. Okay, Mute. I'd say Mute is definitely S tier. Like his gadget is good in so many ways. I could make a fucking list right now about the ways, like he's anti-breach. He is like, wait, what's the word? He denies enemies intel basically perfectly. And there's also those small things like dog cabbies calls and etc. Like claymores deactivate near to mute jammer ENA. And he's also good combined with another operator like I'd say Mossy. But the fact that he can deny intel very well in a game where drones and intel is so essential part of the game, I'd say he's meta, has always been. If you're a beginner, you could just play Mute, like he's always useful, always. Okay, next up we have Oryx. Okay, I like him personally. His gun is pretty good. Unlike Legion, he has a 1.5 scope, which is very nice, and he's overall a very good roamer because you can run fast with him. You can jump up the hatches with him. You have a secondary pistol that can make like feet holes and you can destroy hatches. He's very good if played properly. Like in bank you can play vertical with him. Well, basically in every map you can play vertical with him, which confuses the enemy team, and even with a coordinated enemy team they have to use time to catch you and try to kill you. So I'd say he's consistent at the moment. I like him personally. I would maybe put him in A tier even. He's going in B now. Next up we have Pulse. Is that so? Yep. Pulse is a great operator. He's not easy to use, but he's great if used properly. You can get info without the enemy seeing you, which is great. But I'd say his kit brings him down. Like I would say he would be S if he had a better gun, but he has the UMP, which is not great. His gadget is great, though it puts him above Castle, which has the UMP too, but he would be too OP with a good gun. Still a very good operator. Hard to use though, so if you're a beginner, I would say don't touch him. Don't touch him, yeah. Play someone else. Okay. Well, okay. Addition to the polls, I don't know. Now when I think about it, as a beginner, he is not that hard to use if you know like even a bit what you're doing. But he needs to play vertically and in a team, in a like full stack, where you can info the whole team. His intel is so useful. So yeah, he's consistent. Okay, next up we have Rogue. Nothing much to say about him. Let's say Doc and Rogue go here. I don't know why I put Doc in there. Well, I like him personally, but he's not very good. Like Rogue, nothing much to say about him. If you're a beginner, Rogue is very good. I'd say then he would be A tier, because you can be useful for the whole team by just placing one thing on the floor. But in a higher elo, there's like nothing much to say about him. The only thing that makes him unique is that you have a 2.0 scope in his gun, but I mean on his gun, but nothing too crazy. Yeah. Okay, next up we have Smoke. In my opinion, Smoke is, if not best, one of the best anchors in the game. Probably the best, yeah. He's very good entry denial, but I'd say Smoke is pretty hard to use, at least pretty hard to master, so you have to know what you're doing, but if you know what you're doing with Smoke, he's very deadly. He's very good. With the SMG-11, it's pretty hard to use, but hey, it's the best secondary in the game. I mean, not a beginner-friendly gun, but I like his kit very much. With the shotgun, he can make rotations, kill holes, feed holes. I'd say his kit is perfect. He has a shield, he has a shotgun, best secondary gun in the game, and his gadget is so useful, entry denial wise. I'd say in almost every side, but I'll put him in S, of course. Next up we have, how many do we have left? Wait, I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 left. Okay. So, wait, 7. Tachanka. I'd say Tachanka is actually consistent nowadays. Like 2 years ago he was just a meme, but after the major buff, he's pretty useful. I think he has the bearing 9 as his secondary, which is very strong. Like, you can win gunfights with that gun. And his main weapon, you can destroy walls, make rotations, make feed holes. So in the beginning of the round you can play pretty slowly, just set up the site with him, and later on you can be like entry denial. You can make enemies lose so much time with this gadget. Yeah, he's consistent nowadays. He's good. I want to put him in the S tier just for the memes, but it's a shame that he's no longer such a meme as he was. Oh yeah, B tier. Next up we have Tone. Pretty new operator with easy to use gadget. Gives intel. Is pretty deadly if well used. If the traps stay alive until in the end of the round, it's a very good situations because the enemies have to push the site. So, and her gadget basically forces the enemy team to move on or at least do something. They can't stay in the same position where they were. Like, it forces the enemies to play fast. So, if you are prepared for that, you can get the upper hand with her gadget. I'd say her gun is very strong, kinda slow fire rate, which is a shame, but it's understandable. It makes pretty much, what am I talking about? Yeah, her gun makes a lot of damage, so it will make sense if she had a fast fire rate, but she's not as good as Melusi. I'd say, yeah, definitely B tier. Definitely. Next up we have Thunderbird. Thunderbird is definitely better than Rogue and Dog as a healing operator with easy to use gadgets and a great gun in my opinion. Very strong. I'd say one of the best guns in defense, but I don't know. If you're a beginner, if you're a champion, no matter what rank you're in, this is a very strong operator. I'd say she's even A, because she has very good kit. Impacts, C4, very good primary gun, and if I'm not wrong, she has the bearing 9, which is like the second best secondary gun in the game. In the defense at least. But yeah, it is useful always. If you're a beginner, you can get very good value with her without actually knowing anything. Just put her gadget down and that's basically all. Okay, next up we have Valk. Very good intel operator. Definitely A. I'd say people do not like her gun that much, but personally I find it pretty good. Like, I don't mind the low damage she has pretty much no recoil, so her gun is beginner friendly. She has a deagle, so you can make some kinds of kill holes with it, and her gadget is just perfect intel wise. But yeah, I don't know, there's nothing much to say about her. But if you're a beginner, she's definitely something you should look into. Like, watch tutorials on YouTube, best camp spots. I could do a video like that sometimes, but yeah, definitely useful. Good operator overall. Next up we have Vigil. In my opinion, the best roamer in the game. Definitely, with this K1A. One of the best guns in defense. I'd say maybe the best SMG in defense. very strong. His gadget is very unique, and you make it very hard for the enemies to find you. Like, they have to spend so much time on hunting you down. Even in the higher elo, I'd say he's meta. This might just be my opinion, but he's S tier, definitely. Okay, we have 1, 2. Do we have 2 left? Only 2 left. Ah, seems like it. Okay, Wamai. I'd say he's A, definitely, because he has a very strong gun. In my opinion, I have probably said this like 10 times in this video that this guy has one of the best guns, but like, his AUG is so strong, it makes very much damage. Basically no recoil. Well, yeah. And his gadget, compared to Jaeger's gadget, where he can just put all his ADSs on the floor or on the wall and not think about them the whole round, makes him so good. But Wamai only has 2 in the beginning, and you have to wait for the charges, so you basically have to stay alive with him in the site to play with his full potential, which is not always easy. I'd say if he had all of his gadgets in the beginning of the round, he will be S tier, definitely. But I'd say he's A or B. He's useful, but like, yeah. Okay, and the last one, at least it seems to be the last one, Warden. I have never been a fan of Warden. Okay, now he has a 1.5 scope, which wasn't the case before. But like Valk, his gun is pretty decent in my opinion, even like better than Valkyrie's kit, because he has the 1.5 scope in it. But I don't see much potential with his gadget. Like, well, yeah, it's pretty situational. If enemy teams throws a smoke or a sense gadget and tries to fast plant, it's very strong operator, but you would have to count on the enemy team doing that, which is pretty unlikely. So where to put him? I'd say before he was F, because there wasn't sense and glass didn't have frags, which make those two a pretty good and deadly combo, which can be countered with Warden. But that is basically the only positive thing I can say about him. He's a good counter when it comes to fast plants, but that's basically all. He has a good style, have to admit, so he's D. Wait, is this all? Have we went through every operator in the game? I mean, every defender. Let me check. Yeah, it seems like it. So, this was my operator tier list 2020. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and you can leave video subject. Wait, sorry about that. You can leave me ideas what kind of videos I should make, because I really don't know what to do to this channel. Like, I don't know what people want to see. This kind of tier list is pretty simple, but I don't know. I want to make something unique, something that people would actually find amusing. I will probably not make a video in like 2 to 3 days, but I'll see you next time.